You are now listening to the Building Her Dream podcast, where we have inspiring conversations with introverted women entrepreneurs who are building their dream lives and businesses on their own terms. Hosted by business operations strategist, author, and the founder of Building Her Dream, Shayla Burtin. To learn more about this podcast and our magazine, visit www.buildingherdream.com. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the Building Her Dream podcast. I'm your host and lifelong introvert, Shayla Burtin, and we have a really special show for you today. March is Women's History Month. It's also the 1 year anniversary of Building Her Dream magazine. And we have just released our March anniversary issue, which you can find on our website. And joining me today on the show are two of the lovely women interviewed in this issue. We have Jennifer Telford and Stephanie Martinez. Let's first start with you, Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me and our time together when we talked before.
Yes, you're welcome. Why don't you start by introducing yourself?
Hi, my name is Stephanie Martinez Rivera. I am a lot of things. I am a podcast host. My podcast is called Joy Found Here, celebrating in May our 3rd year, which is a lot of fun and ridiculously crazy. I'm also a wife to my wonderful husband, Bob, 40 years next month. Crazy. 3 amazing, they're not kids, they're adults, they're crushing life. And I'm a grandma to a wonderful grandson, Vincent, who's 19 months. And I do a lot of things. So I like to think of myself as I just have a lot of commas. I am right now still working full time. I'm an HR director for an engineering company, comma, digital content creator, comma, and God only knows what's coming down the pike.
Wow. How do you keep focused with all of those different things? It sounds like it would be exhausting.
I get very intentional with my time when I'm at work. During the day, I'm at work. It's hard. As much as I would love to, steal a few minutes to work on a course or answer some emails, I'm at work. I'm there. But I start my day early. I end early. I don't watch TV. I just kind of do things that fill my soul.
I love that. I love that. So, Stephanie, would you say that you are currently living your dream life? And if not, then what would your dream life look like?
So I loved this question. Not currently is, you know what? It's kind of a yes and no. I mean, I have a great life and I'm surrounded by people I adore. We have a lot of fun, but I have this dream of a family compound. Everybody, we're just in different buildings or different houses on the same property on the beach where we just constantly listen to the sound of the surf coming in and going out. Obviously, there's sunshine involved as this New York girl who's getting tired of, thankfully, it's not snow, but oh my goodness, it's just been rainy and gray and miserable. So that would be part of the dream life. And I think just traveling around and just meeting all different people. That's still it's still very much in the next path, in the next journey as I venture toward that.
I love that. I love the family compound idea. Like that's something that I would love as well, just to have my family nearby, but not
Mm-hmm.
in the same house though.
Correct. You heard the separate houses. That was key.
Yes.
We talk about it all the time between my sister and my cousins and my kids, and we get really specific. Like I really think this is going to be happening soon, but we already know who's going to be like at the gatehouse and who's going to, who's got the kids, so you want them kind of in the middle and with the more space for the kids to run around, and who needs to be off in the corner a little quiet. We've got it planned.
Love it. Love that. Thank you for sharing that. Now,
Yeah.
we also have Jennifer here with us today. Jennifer, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good, good. Thank you for being here. Why don't you share with us a little bit about you and what you do?
Okay. Well, I also too wanted to say thank you for having me here, Shayla, and I love this community and how you feature these women that are a little bit more introverted. So this is just wonderful, and I'm really honored to be a part of this. So my name is Jennifer Andrea Telford, and I am an integrative women's life empowerment coach. And the integrative part is I include or combine body and energy healing modalities because I have a 24-year past experience as massage therapist and a lymphatic drainage therapist. And I worked a lot with women in post-operative breast cancer recovery and surgeries, over the years, and would educate women on holistic breast care. So coming now into my early 50s, just kind of evolving with my work. I feel like my personal journey has evolved like with my work over the years, from my 20s now into my early 50s. I'm now integrating more of a coaching approach, but always kind of reminding women that we need to come back into the body and then offering tools, to help women navigate, whatever change that they're going through. So my business is called Her Path, Her Vision, Transformations for Women by Jennifer Andrea Coaching. And the umbrella of that over the past 24 years was Ho'ano Wellness. And Ho'ano means to manifest your vision. It's a Hawaiian word. I am originally from Hawaii, even though I live in Southern California. And yeah, so I'm just excited, to embark on this journey now of just really attracting women into my kind of, arena that are looking to learn how to listen to their body, trust their voice, own their power, embrace their worth, as they navigate areas of their life. And so I love what I do. Absolutely love it.
Wow, wow, that is wonderful. It sounds like you are really impacting the lives of women.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Very cool. Very cool. And then you're from Hawaii and now you live in California. Like I need to be like you to live in that good weather.
Yes, yeah, I do feel blessed in that way. It's always pretty mild and not in the Midwest or the
Right.
Northeast. So yeah, lucky in that. I've grown up grown up in a nice area, live in a nice area, so that's nice.
Very cool. So would you say that you are living your dream life now?
I would say I'm partially there. It's kind of
Okay.
like a halfway mark, yeah. Because when I think about the past couple years, I dreamed of getting, kind of like transitioning into this women's empowerment coach. And I did the training that I needed to do to get there. So I've successfully completed that part of the journey. Now it's just kind of like reaching out to more women. Um, my personal journey also led me on a path of kind of healing an unhealthy relationship pattern over the years and really learning to love myself. And through that, I came to a place where I feel like I broke that pattern. And now I've been in a healthy relationship for 8 years.
Wow.
So that is a big part of my, dream life, I guess, that I had a good companion, somebody that I
Hmm.
felt safe with, and was going to be a healthy, conscious relationship. Um, where I feel like not quite there yet. I'd like to be, even though I'm in Southern California, I'm not by the ocean. So
Okay.
I would love to be by the ocean. I would love to be, I see, as I've, kind of envisioned, see myself, with my family who's not near me other than my, partner, but to be in a home, in Hawaii or maybe on the coast of California where we're overlooking the water, and having these nice memories together where we can really just share. And right now I feel a little isolated from the people that are close to me other than my partner. So that I envision. And I envision just like the flexibility with my business where I can travel to places, and I'm doing retreats for women. And that's a big thing that I'm envisioning, and workshops, and where each day I'm just kind of like, I have like a online presence with women, or I'm seeing like VIP clients, in-house. I'm doing it minimally right now, but I want to have like my days full with that. And so that's, and just making a larger impact, and really reaching out to more women. So that's kind of, something that I'm envisioning, and it's building. So I feel like that's why I say I'm halfway there.
Nice, nice. Halfway is really good.
Yeah.
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 And your dream sounds amazing, and Stephanie's dream sounds amazing to me as well. Definitely both have parts of what I'm working towards. I find that my dream has been slightly changing over time. Right now, I simply want to have the freedom to wake up and decide what my day looks like. So,
Mhm.
do I want to work today, or do I want to rest? Or do I want to hop on a plane and have a little fun somewhere else? And
Yeah.
so, I feel like becoming an entrepreneur was supposed to like help me with that dream, but these days I keep adding more work and more work to my plate, and I'm sure you all know how that goes.
Yes. Yes.
Um, mhm. And for the listeners who are not familiar with me, I actually have another business called Yes, I Can Help You that I started in 2017 to help other entrepreneurs hire and lead supportive teams. And last year, I was looking for a way to increase my visibility. I get most of my clients through referrals. Marketing and like being seen is not one of my strong areas. I prefer to be in the background, but I knew that if I wanted to grow my business, I had to start doing something. And I saw other entrepreneurs being interviewed in various outlets, and I started wondering, like, how do I get interviewed? How do I get featured on podcasts or in the media? But on the other hand, do I actually want to be interviewed? That I have a lot of anxiety around people just asking me random questions, and I don't know what they're going to what they're going to ask. So after like spending some time just researching opportunities and then thinking about all of this, the thought popped up in my head, what if I create my own platform? A platform, an opportunity for other women like me who are looking for a way to be seen, or a place to share their stories and talk about the impactful work that they're doing. And so when I got this idea, I posted about it on social media and was just blown away by the responses from women, introverted women, saying, yes, you should do this. Yes, this is needed. Yes, I want to be a part of it. And that's how Building Her Dream was born.
Wow.
I saw a need and came up with a solution and just kind of ran with it. But isn't that like, I think a lot of businesses are born that way. Like we see a need, we see a problem, and then we create a
Yeah.
solution for it.
yeah, you've clearly done that. So thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, with building her dream, I'm making an impact on the businesses of introverted women. Stephanie, so you're the host of the Joy Found Here podcast. How are you making an impact with your podcast?
I use my platform to celebrate and to promote anybody. I know that we all have a story. So my genre is so general. I don't get really pigeonholed into it's probably maybe some personal development, but I am just curious and want to know more. And I will celebrate anybody who, if they're coaching and they want to, again, get the word out, if they've just written a book, if they've, just created, pivoted and left this behind and started somewhere else. I'm just lucky that I get to do this. I didn't know how it was going to pan out 3 years ago when I started. I just knew I wanted to talk and find other people to kind of just share their stories and get them out there. And I've been really, really fortunate that we've built a wonderful community, and the text messages and emails that we receive are amazing, and just, I mean, they make my heart swell. And that's, yeah, it's nice to get a little validation of, yes, you're doing, keep going, because even one person, that's all my whole goal was, if just one person listened. But we're very lucky that more than one person listened. So yeah, I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm the first one to fix your crown. I'm the first one to tell you, sweetie pie, I got a little spinach happening in your teeth. We're there to support.
Oh, that's awesome.
Love it. Love that. And so how did you come up with the name?
So I was in the middle of a meltdown because I was taking a course on how to do your podcast, and the assignment was due. It was a time sensitive. In 8 weeks, you had to meet these deadlines in order to get your episode published. And I'm like, okay, great. So now it's title. Okay, it's title week. Great. I guess I skipped over you should really double check to make sure, like if you're going to have a website, make sure no one has a Facebook group, make sure. I didn't make sure with the first name. I had this name in my head. This is how it was going to be. I even knew what the logo was going to look like. And then I realized I didn't check. I Googled, someone else had it. Now I melt down because now I'm like, what am I going to call this podcast? I have no idea. And I sat on my porch. I let myself cry, gave myself the little pity party time. And then I just said, yeah, come on, Stephanie, let's go. You know how to do this. And I just talked myself through it. What do I want? What feeling do I want? What message do I want to send? And that's where I knew I had joy. That kind of came to me. But the found here, because everything starts with you. Like we think we find it in, it's all here. It starts with you, and then it radiates from there. So I just kind of went with it.
Beautiful.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I think it's great that your other name was taken because I really love Joy Found Here. I think that's the perfect name.
Yeah. Yeah. No coincidences at all. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hmm. Yes. So you mentioned that you're building a community. I'm wondering, how do you cultivate like meaningful connections with your community while still honoring your introverted nature?
So I've yet to do anything live. I'm going to one of these days. I'm good just in the written word, and again, in between posts and how we communicate. But I'm going to step out, and I'm going to do it. It's because I don't believe. I know we all get stuck on whatever and those they people, and you know what? Life is a little too short, and I'm gonna turn 60. What I don't know what I'm waiting for. So I'm stepping out for sure. And if you would have asked me that I would be like doing these things on social media, no, not in a million years. But it's time.
I
Awesome.
get it. I get that. I'm hesitant to do the live
Mm-hmm.
videos as well. So you go first and then
Okay.
I'll follow you.
I'll test it. I'll let you know. Absolutely. You got a deal.
Good, good, good. So, Jennifer, you are a women's empowerment coach. Tell me
Mhm.
more about what you love about the work that you do.
Mm. I love, okay, what I love about the work that I do, I mean, I love seeing somebody like a client come in who's going to work with me and to witness their transformation. I mean, they
Mm,
come in a very low period of their life or where they're having challenges or they're in a healing or recovery. They don't really have, the tools, but they know they want something more, they know that there's something more meant for them out there. And whether that be with like just, having a dialogue with somebody, or I'm actually doing more like energetic or body healing, there's always a conversation in the beginning. So starting from point A and then seeing the transformation to where they get to and how that has evolved for them, I would say is just rewarding. And many times at the end of the journey, big things happen. They accomplish a project they wanted, they get that new job. They've just come to learn things like I know how to trust myself more. I know how to set better boundaries for my sensitive nature. Things like that. Or they just, as like Stephanie said, just coming back into yourself, into that quiet place of just honoring what it is that they want. So, and then I always at the end of, working with clients, I find that I get like a little thank you card or just some type of, those are the meaningful things for me in the work that I do. And my mission has always been like, or the vision too that I have is just empowering one self-nurturing woman at a time, allowing women to come home to themselves and helping them, through that journey. So it really is, I have a binder of just cards and
mm,
letters, from past clients. And that's what's meaningful. And that really exudes my introverted nature because it has been more of a one-on-one type of journey, with individuals. However, in looking into the future, I'm also trying to kind of take risks and get out of my comfort to where I can, be with groups or do more lives, do more interviews like this, do a retreat, work maybe even group coaching. That's
ooh,
that's a big big endeavor that I dream about, but not quite there. So I've done some small group workshops. So I would
okay.
say that that's the impact that or yeah, the impact and just, what I see with clients when we work together. And it's really about them helping them find solutions for themselves. Know, I'm just like a catalyst to that path for them, that vision that they have and helping them be accountable, helping them be, learning how to trust themselves, and using those inner whispers to guide them, and through the process of tools, that you provide and allowing them to just, yeah, kind of, take that journey on for themselves, but holding space, and seeing them in their highest version of themselves. If they can't at that point,
Mm,
because that is often the case, So like being their biggest cheerleader. That's a
yeah.
good way of saying it.
I love that. And I agree with you about receiving the notes from clients. I haven't gotten any cards in the mail, but I'll often, when I'm feeling like imposter syndrome or feeling down, it seems like that's the moment where I'll get an email or a message from someone that I've worked with, or someone who I may have never worked with, but they've just been watching me, and they let me know that I'm doing great work and that they see me and that I should keep going. Like, having those messages are really good to save and keep around when I need to like read and
Yeah,
I guess empower myself. So
exactly. Yeah, it kind of, yeah, validates the journey. Yeah, just it we need that sometimes, So they are good to look at, and they're special. I mean, it's just, yeah, those are sacred things that I see, in how we help people transform and.
yeah,
So.
absolutely. Jennifer, are there any specific practices or tools that you use in your daily routine that helps you thrive as an introverted entrepreneur?
That's a nice question. Helps me thrive as an introverted. I like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Entrepreneur. Yeah, I feel like I cultivate a lot of my own self-awareness, and I do that through different, methods. I listen to meditations, just to help me kind of tune into what's in alignment for me on that day, what's giving me joy, what's calling to me to kind of like in reaching out, and kind of extending that externally, but it needs to come from within first. So that's something that I have been doing lately. And also journaling helps me with that as well, and just really creating, one of my biggest things that I do with women in the work is helping them to listen and tune into their body, so that that can enable one to trust your intuition more, because that's a big component of navigating, any kind of life's journey. So I've been doing more journaling, where I ask myself questions like, what am I feeling? What am I seeing? What am I smelling, in this moment? How does my body feel? What sensations, am I experiencing? So just tuning in to my well-being, and what it is that I need has really helped me, and kind of, being a powerful introverted, entrepreneur, I would say. And also, yeah, I would say that that pretty much covers it. So,
yeah, very cool. I was thinking today about some of the misconceptions about introverts. I always hear like a lot of wild things like we all hate people. I'm like, that is not true. Maybe some people,
yeah.
people, but like it's not an introvert thing that we don't like people. What other misconceptions have you all heard about introverts?
That's a good one. What miscon Oh, wow. Well, what keeps ringing for me is you've said something before that resonates really, really, I guess, loud. And it's you've said this, and I would say this is one of the misconceptions, is like maybe, we don't have like big dreams in a sense, or big vision, because we're introverted, and so it's like everything's maybe closed, our environment's very internal. But you said something I've seen in some of your wording of like, we speak loud, like we have loud vision, like a loud dream or loud vision. You've used the word loud before,
Mm.
and I would say that's probably one of the misconceptions, in a sense, is that I have huge vision and huge creativity and huge like ideas, and it is loud and big like an extrovert would, but it does stay within, and it's finding those ways to kind of get it out there. So we are louder than we look, or that we appear, I don't
We
know
we
how
need
to
the
word
coffee
that.
mug for that. You need
Yeah.
the mug that says we're louder than we're, or the t-shirt.
Yeah, we're louder than we
Yeah.
look. Like we're almost bigger than the extrovert, in the sense
Mhm.
of getting our dream out there and our vision. And it is loud inside. It's been a loud calling for 20 some years for me. And it's, but we can be misconceived as that we're not, or that we don't have those maybe aspirations, or, that our lives are very simple or just routine, or, but there's so much inside that wants to come out. So I don't know if I, wording that, but that's what I would say is one of the misconceptions.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
I think I'd like
that's...
to add to that, and that is, we're okay also. I mean, I know I might be quiet at times, and then people will find it funny that do I talk a lot, and sometimes I do, but I also really like I enjoy quiet, and I enjoy, as much as I enjoy gathering, I do enjoy me time also.
Yeah.
And I think, we can probably travel, and maybe we straddle both worlds okay. And perhaps, when you're, I'll say, the extrovert, you sometimes, and I'm only assuming, you need the feed, you just have to be either around the action or what have you. And but I know for me, I can be in both. I can do both, and I prefer the quiet.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. I definitely need a lot of quiet me time. But I've recently discovered that I can talk a lot. Um,
I love that.
if if I'm with the right person,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
can talk for hours, and I did
Mm-hmm.
not know that. I've just recently discovered that.
That is so true. Yeah, I could see that with certain people for myself too. Yeah. And
Mhm.
isn't there a name for someone who's kind of introverted and slightly extroverted? It's like an ambivert or something. I think I've
Yeah,
heard that a few times in
I've heard that. Hmm.
ambivert. Maybe we're a little ambivert.
Yeah, well, I would still say that I'm an introvert because the next day I'm worn out and I
Mhm.
need to hide. So if I have
Yeah,
a day where I've done a lot of talking, the
yeah,
next day my body I can feel it. Like
yeah.
I need to just be by myself.
Yeah, I hear you. Like if I work a day, the next day I need to stay home and just not see people, not get out in the car, not go anywhere, and it's a time to replenish. And so I think
Mhm.
that's an important thing for introverts, is that we need a lot of, our own self-care, and as an entrepreneur, that's important too for introverts to really replenish that for themselves and for everyone, but especially introverts.
Yeah. Hmm. For sure. So with entrepreneurship, there's definitely a lot of challenges, but there's also a lot of rewards and wins and successes. What has been the most rewarding um part of entrepreneurship for you all?
I think for me, outside of the podcast, because I'm just really starting. I'm going to be moving out of my 9 to 5 and going all in on me.
Yay.
So the just the fact that, the courage came to do it. That's You have to start somewhere. Win, lose, try it, experiment. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I may think that I'm like, this would be so cool, wouldn't it? And then it doesn't pan out, obviously, the way, or I have no idea, but I'm never gonna know until I try. So that's why I'm heading to my direction at least.
Mm,
Love that.
love that. Yeah, for me, just yeah, that I get to, I mean, you went back to talking about having our own time and, it really just aligns with me and my personality. And I like kind of creating my day. And also this path that I'm on is in alignment with who I am as a person. And then also lots of wonderful opportunities have come through, this journey as well of being kind of an introverted entrepreneur, but being in a book anthology recently, or
Mm.
being asked to be in workshops, or there's just lots of different things that have come about that maybe wouldn't have if I had taken a different path. So that's something that I just feel like those are the rewards too, other than what happens with individual clients, so.
Yeah, that's a wonderful reward. As I think back over my journey over the past 6, almost 7 years, I would say the most rewarding part is all of the people that I've met over these past years. Because
Yeah.
when I was employed and I didn't have my business, I would just go to work and come home. And I had two friends that had for years, but that was it. Um, but when I started my business, I started connecting with a lot more people all over the country and outside of the country. And I've just been building some really strong relationships, that business relationships that have turned into friendships. And so I have so many more friends now, people that I've been talking to for years on a regular basis. May have never met them in person, but
Yeah.
I still consider them to be really good friends. And so that's
Mhm.
something that I'm really grateful for, and is has definitely been one of the most rewarding things of becoming an entrepreneur for me.
I can just 100%. I'm so glad that you mentioned that. And I do see that too. I've met so many people through becoming a coach, and people from all over the United States that I never would have met otherwise, that we get on Zoom calls, and people I've never even met in person, but it feels like they're my new best friends. And yeah, so the community aspect of this is amazing, and what we can achieve through online connections, so thanks. Yeah, that's a great,
Hmm.
great add-on.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the time here. It's flying by. Before we go, the last question that I'll ask is, if there is an introverted woman listening right now who is thinking about starting a business, but she's just not sure if she can do it, if she has the right personality, for it. Stephanie, what advice would you give her?
I would say put some blinders on. Everyone is going to have an opinion, but if you want to go forward, go. And you really should try. You really should try because, regret lives on forever. If the worst is it's a funny story. The best is it works.
Mm, yeah,
Mhm.
I love that.
Perfect.
Love that.
Jennifer, what about you?
I would just tell her she has all the magic she needs right
Mhm.
inside of her, and to harness her strengths and really step into her authentic self, because that's what's going to really attract people, to come into her community, her business services. Some of the most powerful businesses, services, products out there, come from introverts. And so to just know that whatever her strengths are, whether that be maybe she's a good communicator, or she's got high empathy, all those things are going to be felt, by somebody, and just to slow, like, in for me, also the self-care aspect comes in, right? We need to just replenish ourselves. So, but just to know that she can create a business that is a reflection of her authentic self and be successful.
I love that. Absolutely. I think that's something that I struggled with in the beginning of my journey. I was listening to everyone else and trying to do what they were doing. The people who made six figures, seven figures, tried to follow their path, but it was not working for me. And so it took me a minute to realize, okay, I've got to do what works for me, and my journey might be a little bit slower than theirs, but it'll be so much more rewarding when I do meet my goal and get there. So,
Beautiful.
yeah. hmm Well, that is our time for today. But I want to thank my lovely guests, Stephanie and Jennifer, for joining me today.
Thank you, Shayla.
This has been a lot of fun, and I'm so happy our paths crossed. And Jennifer, I want to get your contact. I've got.
And likewise.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, thank you, Shayla, and just the mission that you're providing, here for women to reach out to more introverted women, and show that we have a face, we can step into this light and as in this entrepreneurial journey. So it's wonderful. And I can't wait to see the magazine in March.
Yes.
Or we are in March, but March 18th.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And if you're listening right now and you want to connect with Stephanie or Jennifer, I will have their contact information in our show notes. And you can also find them and me in the March issue of Building Her Dream magazine. I also want to thank the other women featured in that issue who could not be here today: Christy Taylor, Megan Molix, Margaret Tran, and Yuna Monecki. And be sure to check out our website, buildingherdream.com, where you'll find more episodes of this show and read the stories of some amazing introverted women in business. Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of the Building Her Dream podcast. If you've enjoyed it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe, leave us a review, and stay up to date with what we're doing by visiting www.buildingherdream.com.